Who knows all the countries in the world or even knows the basics about all these countries? In this small series, I would like to give you just an overview of those countries. And this includes a brief overview of the most important data on their political system. And today it is about Lesotho. The official name of the country is Kingdom of Lesotho. The form of government is a constitutional monarchy. The head of state is King Letsie III, sworn in on February 7th in 1996, crowned on October 31st in 1997. The head of government is Prime Minister Dr. Motsoae Thomas Thabane. The foreign minister is Lesego Makoti. The parliament is a two-chamber system based on the British model, with the House of Commons, the National Assembly with 120 MPs, 80 of whom were elected by a simple majority voting and 40 by proportional representation, and the upper house, the Senate, with 22 traditional leaders by virtue of office, 11 other members appointed by the king on the proposal of the prime minister. The Lesotho Constitution was adopted on April 2nd, 1993. It defines the state's form of government as a parliamentary monarchy with a bicameral parliament. The minimum age for elections to the National Assembly is 18 years. The separation of powers is also established, and an independent judicial system is guaranteed. The Constitution also guarantees human rights such as freedom of speech, freedom of the press and assembly, freedom of religion, the right to personal freedom, protection against forced labor, and the protection of privacy and private property. The Prime Minister of Lesotho, Mokgweetsi Majoro, since May 20th, 2020, is the chairman of the government and the cabinet and has executive power. The Prime Minister is not elected. Between 1986 and 1993, the office of Prime Minister was suspended. His official business was carried out by the chairman of the Military Council. The King, Letsie III, since February 7, 1996, has almost only a representative function. Active participation in political events is prohibited by the Constitution. Nevertheless, he is considered part of the executive. The monarchy is hereditary, but according to a traditional law, the Barina Council can reject a minor successor to a deceased king and replace him with another person. The deposition of a king is also possible through this council. Legislative power in Lesotho rests in the hands of the parliament, which is divided into two chambers. The Senate acts as the upper house. The lower house is the National Assembly. The Senate consists of 33 members, as I said, 22 of whom are tribal chiefs of the country. The majority of these members are descendants of Moshoeshoe I and inherit their seat in the Senate to their descendants. The remaining 11 members of the Senate are appointed by the king on the proposal of the government. The main task of the Senate, according to the Constitution, is the revision and review of bills that come from the National Assembly, but also the drafting of laws. The second chamber, the National Assembly, is directly elected by the people in a general, free, equal and secret ballot. A legislative period lasts 5 years. Since 2007, the lower house has 120 seats, 80 of which are elected by majority, so first past the post, and 40 by proportional representation. The 40 seats are given to parties that, in relation to the 120 seats, received a disproportionately large number of MPs according to the majority vote. The Speaker of the National Assembly has been Sefiri Motanyane from ABC since 2017. For the Legislative Assembly, which was introduced in 1956, women initially had no right to vote. The new Constitution of 1960 gave only taxpayers voting rights to the election of district councils, which then elected members of the Legislative Assembly. This meant that women were effectively without voting rights. On April 30th in 1965, elections were held with universal suffrage for adults. This introduced the right to vote for women. The active and passive right to vote for women was confirmed upon independence in 1966. And if you want to stay informed, please subscribe to my channel. Auf Wiedersehen.